Hi, John.
Hello, Nancy. It has been a long time since I last saw you.
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. It would be better if I had a new job right now.
How long have you been looking for a new job? You have prepared a resume, right?
Yes, I have, and I just started this week.
Didn't you have any interviews with those firms that came to our campus last month?
I could only get one interview because of my heavy work schedule. A month has already gone by, and I have not heard from them. I guess I did not make it.
Don't worry, John. I know you will get a job soon. Besides, the job market is pretty good right now, and all companies need financial analysts.
I hope so.
Why didn't John get many interviews calls during campus placement? What is Nancy hopeful about?
Hello, John. Have you applied for the post of financial analyst in today's daily?
Yes, I have. I feel I have all the necessary qualifications for the post. In fact, I have already started my preparations, and that's why I'm here.
I'm glad to hear that. So, what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm shopping for a new suit. I want to make the best impression possible at my job interviews.
That's the spirit. I'm sure things will look up for you soon. Have you thought about questions they might ask you during the interview?
Like what?
Well, they might ask you some questions about finance theories to test your academic understanding. They might tell you about a problem and want you to come up with a solution.
I can handle that.
Also, make sure you are on time. Nothing is worse than to be late for an interview.
I know. I always plan to arrive about 10 or 15 minutes before the interview starts.
Good decision. It seems that you are well prepared for your interview.
Why does John need a new suit? What kinds of questions are expected in the interview?
What advice does Nancy give John to?
Have you mailed your resume to other companies too? How about recruiting agencies?
I have sent it to a dozen companies already. No, I have not thought about recruiting agencies.
Are there a lot of openings?
Quite a few. Some of them require a certain amount of experience, and others are willing to train.
My friends told me that it helps to do some homework before you go to an interview. You need to know the company well. What kind of business is it in? What types of products does it sell? How is it doing lately?
Yes, I know. I am doing some research on companies that I want to work for.
Good luck in your job search, John.
Thank you for your advice. Bye.
Apart from mailing resumes to the companies, how can John search for a job? What will some companies do after hiring the candidate? What did Nancy's friends guide her about?
Thank you, Brenda, for giving me a ride home. I did not want to call my parents because they were at Mimi's Cafe for my aunt's birthday.
Mimi's Cafe? That place has the best burgers in town. We should eat there after our next basketball game. Do you have any plans set up for the upcoming vacation?
Well, besides going to basketball practices with you, I will most likely be working.
Did you get a new job or are you still working at Starbucks?
Well, Starbucks was a good first job for me. However, my work schedule was neither convenient nor easy, a conflict to my class schedule.
What are you doing now?
Well, I'm an administrative assistant. My job entails inputting data into the computer and following up on customers' orders. What about you? Do you have any plans for break?
I think I'm just going to hang out at home and read some books. I am planning a snowboarding trip, though.
Great. Who's going, and where are you guys going to go snowboarding?
As of now, my roommates Jay and Christian are planning to go. We are planning to go to Big Bear.
Where are you guys staying at? Did you rent out a cabin?
No, we did not. My cousin actually owns a cabin up there, and he has offered it to us.
Would it be okay with your cousin if I come along as well?
You are more than welcome to join us.
Awesome, I'm so excited. I will give you an update tomorrow.
Sure.
Why did Mike quit Starbucks? Why didn't Brenda book a rented accommodation? What are Brenda's plans for winter vacations? What is the profile of an administrative assistant? Why can't Mike call his parents?
How do you come to the university each day?
Oh, I always walk, and anyway, I live quite close.
Do you know anything about students' parking rights on the campus?
I think it's possible for postgraduate students, but not for undergraduate students.
That doesn't seem very fair. I'm sure the university could afford to build more, what with all the fees we pay.
But there simply isn't enough room on the campus for everyone to park.
Do you need a parking permit?
Yeah, I believe you do.
Where do I get that from?
I think you can get a parking sticker from the administration office.
Where's that?
It's in the building called Block G, right next to Block E.
And what happens to you if you don't buy a sticker? Do they clamp your wheels or give you a fine?
I think they tow your car away. And then they fine you as well because you have to pay to get the car back.
I'd better get the sticker then.
Yeah. Are you aware of the marked handicap spots?
No, I haven't seen those spots.
The handicapped logo with blue means that you are not to park there unless you have a handicap permit. Also, make sure you pay special attention to the street signs with time limits. Have you noticed those signs?
No, I have not seen the signs.
Pay attention to what the signs tell you in terms of time limits and what days you can park there, and I think you'll be good to go.
Where exactly is the administration office again?
Right. You go along Library Road, past the tennis courts and the swimming pool, and the administration office is opposite the car park on the left.
Bye, and thanks for the help.
What doesn't appear fair enough to Mary? What's the penalty for not buying a parking sticker? Soon after the conversation, where would you like to go? What are the two things Mary needs to remember before parking? What does Fred walk to the campus? What does the phrase good to go mean?
The mother of a man who broke his neck in an accident at a Spanish water park says the family wants to know why and how it happened. David Briffot, 23, was left seriously injured after going on the splash ride at Aqualandia in Benidorm on 8 July. His mother, Lorraine Briffot, said it made a huge difference to know that people are there supporting us and understanding how we are feeling. Mr. Briffot had been at the water park with his girlfriend, Penny Bristow, to celebrate her completing her degree. He lost consciousness after hitting the water at the bottom of the splash ride and suffered catastrophic injuries to his spinal cord, breaking his neck in 2 places. Mr. Briffot has been left paralyzed. Mrs. Briffot praised hospital staff and people who have donated to a crowdfunding page which has raised about £72,000 to help pay for his care when he returns home. But she said she could not understand how her son could injure himself on a water slide. "We want to know why and how it happened," she added. Aqualandia said it was very sad, but added, "The park is not responsible for the accident." Mrs. Briffot said, "My focus is on David and getting him home and getting him the best care I can," she said. "We need to be there for him, and we'll be there to support him every step of the way."
Meals and they kind of replace the typical sort of comfort foods, right? Yeah. All right, where do we start here?
Salad. Let's start with salad. It's a good way to start a meal. So not your typical salad. We use kale instead of any other dressing just because kale gets a bad rap. We're eating healthy anyway. Let's stick to a good green like kale. And we use it because our dressing, Caesar dressing, is very heavy, very creamy.
It is, yes.
Kale holds up to it a lot better, but our cream dressing can't have cream in it because it's vegan, so it's a cashew base. So
Really?
go ahead and give that a try. On
taste
top,
test these things?
you have coconut bacon, which is a
Okay.
smoky. Just
Okay.
dig in and
Okay, coconut bacon. Now, the kale is really, you cut it up very fine,
Very
because if it's
fine.
really big pieces, it's hard,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes to chew all that.
dressing's very flavorful.
You have to massage the dressing into the kale.
Smokiness from the coconut bacon.
I taste the lemon as well,
Yeah.
a little citrus. It's creamy, it's so flavorful. I'm having that for lunch.
You can have it.
That is
That's
so,
yours.
so good. What else is involved in this? This is
There's a
fantastic.
whole clove of garlic in the dressing, so it's
That
very
we roasted,
garlicky.
though, so it's not too strong.
Yeah. The croutons, obviously, and yeah, it's a basic Caesar salad, but without any
It's so
dairy.
great. Are you guys coming up with these recipes?
Totally, yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
are, yeah?
Usually we just see, like, a Caesar salad is something everyone loves, but it actually has a lot of saturated fat in it because of the cream and the eggs.
It's true.
So
Right.
cashews are a good fat, and they're
Yeah.
obviously plants, and you don't have to be afraid of fat at all, but it just depends on where it's coming from. So we're
Yeah.
really just trying to replace foods people love with healthier options. And it's all about balance, too, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so Lauren, what's next?
Well, these are our most popular recipe. They're cauliflower buffalo wings. So everyone in the green room thought they were chicken, but they're not chicken.
It smells absolutely divine.
And there's a ranch dressing without any cream.
Without any cream.
Yeah.
What's the main ingredient
It's
there?
basically an oil-based mayonnaise. So you could actually, there's a lot of vegan mayonnaise in the store that don't come with any flavoring. So I just take a jar of that, and then I add spices like dill, chives, parsley,
Yes,
garlic.
yes, yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of
apple
flavor.
cider vinegar.
Very
it's really
flavorful.
easy.
Okay, so for all our viewers who are not too sure, what makes one a vegan? What don't you eat?
Oh, well, you don't need any meat, fish, chicken, dairy products, or eggs. Or animal byproducts. That's really it. People think you're taking so much out of your diet when you're really replacing it with a lot more food, a lot more nutritious food. There's an abundance of plant foods on the earth that I think we miss out on as omnivores because we're just so used to eating a certain way.
Right.
So it's just nutrient-dense plant food, and there's a lot more you're adding in.
Okay, well then, I know folks are looking at this going, wait a minute, there's no dairy, there's no egg, and how can you have what looks like mac and cheese here?
It is mac and cheese. I always like to say it is what it is. It's
Great.
mac and cheese, but
Okay.
it's cheeseless. And so, again, it's a cashew-based sauce that we've added nutritional yeast into. People have probably heard of nutritional yeast because it's become very popular lately. It's a B12 supplement. It's nutritious, and it has a cheesy, sort of nutty
As researchers on aging noted recently, no treatment on the market today has been proved to slow human aging. But one intervention, consumption of a low-calorie yet nutritionally balanced diet, works incredibly well in a broad range of animals, increasing longevity and prolonging good health. Those findings suggest that caloric restriction could delay aging and increase longevity in humans too. Unfortunately, for maximum benefit, people would probably have to reduce their caloric intake by roughly 30%. Few mortals could stick to that harsher regimen, especially for years on end. But what if someone could create a pill that mimicked the physiological effects of eating less without actually forcing people to eat less? Could such a caloric restriction mimetic, as we call it, enable people to stay healthy longer, postponing age-related disorders such as diabetes, arterial sclerosis, heart disease, and cancer until very late in life? In 1990, researchers came upon a chemical agent that seemed to reproduce many of caloric restriction's benefits in rodents. Scientists found that rats that were fed on a low-calorie diet lived longer on average than free-feeding rats and also had a reduced incidence of conditions that become increasingly common in old age. What is more, some of the treated animals survived longer than the oldest living animals in the control group, which means that the maximum lifespan, the oldest attainable age, not merely the normal lifespan, increased. Until fairly recently, the studies were limited to short-lived creatures, genetically distant from humans. But caloric restriction projects underway in some species more closely related to humans, like the rhesus monkeys, have made scientists optimistic that CR mimetics could help people. The caloric-restricted animals also look better on indicators of risk for age-related diseases. For example, they have lower blood pressure and triglyceride levels, signifying a decreased likelihood of heart disease. And they have more normal blood glucose levels, pointing to a reduced risk for diabetes, which is marked by unusually high blood glucose levels. Further, it has recently been shown that rhesus monkeys kept on caloric-restricted diets for an extended time, nearly 15 years, have less chronic disease.